Cost of living crisis over here is a real thing.
It's hitting low-income households.
Sky high.
Food handouts just to survive.
Unaffordable.
And that is crazy.
Hey, I'm Jess, and I'm coming to you from Christchurch, New Zealand.
And Cole on the other side of the world in the UK.
The cost of living crisis over here is a real thing, and people are really struggling to feed their families. So me and Cole thought it would be a great idea to head into our local supermarkets and compare the cost of the cheapest pantry staples that we could find in New Zealand versus over in the UK.
The crisis is also affecting people across the UK, but it is hitting low-income households the hardest. Many people are cutting back on non-essential spending, and reportedly, a number of full-time workers are relying on food handouts just to survive, and that is crazy.
I think this is going to be an incredibly interesting one. To me, the prices in New Zealand are just sky high and becoming unaffordable. Let's go. So today I've decided to bring you guys into Pack and Save, which is, in my opinion, the cheapest supermarket in Christchurch, New Zealand.
There are a few sort of lower budget supermarkets. This one is Tesco. It's a very large format supermarket. It's got huge variety. So Tesco is our choice for today.
We're going to start with a kilo of bananas.
Bananas. 90p a kilo. Not bad at all.
Next on the list, we are going to get the whole raw chicken. These range in price from about $20 to this one, which is on sale for $12.49. It looks like it's cheap because it expires in 2 days.
Chicken. Alrighty, we want a whole chicken, medium British whole chicken, $3.95. That's the cheapest one here, I think.
Now everyone needs milk for their morning breakfast, so I'm going to grab a 2 litre of Blue Value milk, which is $4.49, and that's a New Zealand brand, so cheap and cheerful.
Household favourite, milk, straight down the end to the cheapest 2 litres. It's actually 2.27 litres, which I think is a fraction bigger than what you get in New Zealand. We're looking at £1.65.
So the price of butter here in New Zealand has really skyrocketed. $10.59 for a 500 gram butter. The cheapest option we have here today is Pam's, which is another New Zealand brand made by Foodstuffs, which is the supermarket that we're in. Pack and Save is under the brand Foodstuffs. It was only about a year or two ago that you used to be able to get 500 grams of butter for $4 something, so it's probably doubled in price.
My go-to will always be Lurpak. Absolutely love it. We've got it on special for £3.50. Yes, I would normally go for this one. And the Tesco's brand is probably the cheapest. So that's 250 grams. So I'd need 2 of those to make up a 500 gram block. And they're $1.99 each.
Cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? We've got Tasty here for $16.99. This is on special for $13.49 for 1 kilo of Edam. I'm going to go for the trusty Value brand, which is everyday low price of $12.55.
Probably my most favourite aisle in the supermarket is the cheese aisle. Here we have 900 grams of cheddar for $99 or $5.50 for a kilo.
So the cheapest brand of yogurt we've got here today is this one here for $3.89.
Yogurt, tomato, however you say it. I think we are looking here 1 kilo, $1.95. That seems pretty good to me. 100% British milk.
I remember when I lived in the UK, you could pick up a mozzarella bowl for like 49p. It's a shame that I actually can't find any here at the supermarket today, because here in New Zealand, I think they're about $10.
Jess asked me to hit up the price of the mozzarella ball. This is the cheapest one I can find. and it is 69p. She was saying they were like 49p back when she was here, and that was like 10 years ago or something. So inflation on mozzarella, not bad at all. That's very good.
Here we are down the most important aisle, coffee and tea to kickstart your day. Fun fact, I don't actually drink coffee, but the cheapest one that I could find was a bag of instant for $2.69.
Quite a good variety of coffee, but this one here is the cheapest I could find at £1.15. This is what we usually drink, so you can see the price difference there.
Here we are in the tea aisle. I usually drink bell tea. Today we're going to try Ham's classic tea bags for 99 cents.
Obviously the English are pretty big on their tea, so there's a rather large selection, but this looks like it's going to be our winner. 90p, and we've got 80 tea bags. Medium strength tea.
So bread in New Zealand kind of ranges from about $5 downwards. I am again going to go for Pam's because that's the cheapest option at $1.69 a loaf.
Alright, bread. The cheapest I can find here is this wholemeal loaf, 55p.
We'll grab some flour. Again, Pam's for the win. That is 1.5 kgs for $1.99.
Right, this is the flour section. I didn't even know you could get so many different varieties of flour. Some pretty cool packaging there. Now, I've got the Tesco flour. That's 1.5 kilos for, what's that, 70p. That's pretty cheap, isn't it? A 1.5 kilo plain flour, 70p. I think this one looks like it costs more, so I'm gonna pick this one.
Here's something I prepared earlier. Eggs nicely placed in front of the price tag.
Eggs. Let's see what we can find. Okay, that seems very cheap. What's this? 15 eggs. 15 British barn eggs. Gosh, I'd hate to think what that means. Anyhow, I think that is going to be the cheapest by a long shot. £2.15. That can't even be right.
Definitely not a staple, but it is in my house. Best Foods mayo, $6.99.
We won't be getting this on the list today because it's not really a staple, but for the sake of having a nose, Hellman's is probably similar to Best Foods, and £2.60 for the smaller and $2.75 for this big one.
Okay, that is our shop done. Now, that in itself was a learning curve for me. It made me really think about the price of things and not just dumping everything in my trolley that I purchase every week. You know, I usually buy Bell tea, whereas I could make a swap to the value tea for 99 cents, and that would save me a lot of money. A few things that have happened to myself over the last few months, which has made me really think that the cost of living is really affecting everybody. One of those being me and my girls were at a friend's birthday party for a 7-year-old little boy, and the parents of the 7-year-old little boy actually text the parent who was having the party and said that their son couldn't make it because, one, they couldn't afford the gift, and two, they couldn't afford the petrol money. Of course, we offered to go and pick the children up. It's not necessary to buy a gift, but it really made me kind of think, shit, this is really bad.
So Jess spent 61.76 New Zealand dollars, which works out to £26.71, and in US dollars that is $36. For me, over in the UK, mine came in at £20.67, which is 47.68 New Zealand dollars and 27.72 US dollars. 2 hours minimum wage pay to cover those 11 items. That isn't going to feed one person for a week by any stretch of the imagination. Say we've got a family of 4, you're going to need to spend probably 4 to 5 times that to get a very basic shop, but enough to keep you alive. You're looking at about 8 to 10 hours on a minimum wage just to cover that shop. If you work 40 hours a week, which is pretty standard, 25% of that has just gone on some very boring groceries. and you've still got to come up with your rent or your mortgage, utilities, transport, the kids' sports. A widely cited guideline is the 50-30-20 rule, and that means 50% would go towards all the things that I just mentioned. 30% would be your wants. If you want to go to the cinema, 20% would be into savings or retirement. I would say that 20 and 30% are out the window for a lot of people, especially on minimum wage, and it would be at 100% dedicated to essential necessities, and sometimes it won't even cover it. Times are trying for many, many people. We would love to know if your grocery bill is insane or if you are feeling the squeeze at the moment. Please let us know in the comments. We'll see you next Friday for another video. And until next time, take it easy.
Thanks for hanging out with us again. And if there's anything that you particularly want to see, drop it in the comments below and we will get out there and check it out for you. Bye bye.